Hi, hello, and welcome. I rarely do hardware reviews on this channel, but I felt the need to cover this little device right here, the PS Portal. This released in 2023, and I was an initial detractor. Perhaps it was because I was looking forward to an actual PlayStation handheld, so my expectations were completely destroyed. But I didn't see the point of this device. I mean, I could, and still can, use my tablet or my phone to stream my PS5. In fact, I had done it before. But having had a few months with this thing now, I can legitimately say my mind has been changed. Be sure to stick to the end of the video because this is more than just a simple review of the PS Portal. First, I want to start with the not so great stuff. To get it out of the way, streaming games, at least here in 2024, just isn't as good as having the games installed locally. You have to have an internet connection, a solid one at that, and it just simply isn't perfect. Many times I've run into the frame rate dropping, even though the frame rate isn't actually dropping on the PS5. Yes, the streaming tech has been updated since the Portal launch, and from everything I've read and watched, it is leagues better. But the refresh rate hiccups happen often enough for me to bring this up. Before you say, get better internet, I have 1 gigabit per second download and 30 megabits per second upload, so I have more than sufficient internet speeds. Also, my PS5 is hardwired into the router, so the only Wi-Fi I'm using is from the Portal itself. I will be in my house, playing close to the router, and will still experience streaming hiccups and drops. Now, these aren't deal breakers for me, interestingly enough, but they happen often enough that I felt the need to mention it. Most of the time, I have a good experience with my Portal. Second, the connections don't always seem stable. As mentioned before, they've definitely improved the streaming settings since launch, but there are moments with severe input lag where I cannot play even the simplest of games. When I can't play a game like Vampire Survivors without input lag getting me killed, you know it's bad. Just like before though, it hasn't been a deal breaker for me, but rather an annoyance that does pop up that I simply don't understand why it happens. Also, and I recognize this could very well be a preferential thing, but I absolutely hate where the power input and headphone jack is located on the Portal. They're behind the system, underneath the little section on the back side of the device. It's underneath in a very tight spot, and it is a pain to get things plugged in and out of. Lastly, as far as bad stuff goes, I have one final complaint, but this one has been partially answered after using this thing for months. To be frank, what is the purpose of this device? I can play on my tablet with a DualSense controller connected to it. Why would I pay $200 for something that doesn't really separate itself from a tablet or a mobile device? What is the need for this odd-looking handheld? Well, let's talk about that. Now that we have the cons out of the way, let's start with the why. Why does this thing exist? After using both my tablet with the DualSense controller and the PS Portal, I much prefer the Portal. It is much more portable than my tablet/controller combo. The user interface is much better, and it just works. This is what I want from my console. I want it to simply work out of the box. You see, I purchased the Portal while I was in Sacramento visiting my family. My nephews wanted to play Helldivers 2 with me, but my PS5 was at home. I am not carrying that big bulky router around with me on vacation. So I picked up the Portal. Yeah, I was on a whim because I got it for around $50 cheaper than normal. I turned the device on, waited for it to quickly update, connected to my PSN account, chose my PS5 console, and started playing Helldivers 2. It worked brilliantly. It was an incredible first impression as I played with my nephews in the same room. I also realized that I could switch between PS5s that have my profile on them. And it's as simple as touching the screen, selecting the settings button, and switching which PS5 to connect to. You simply leave the PS5s in rest mode and make sure the link setting is enabled. I then tried to play in a separate room to test the microphone. Yes, the mic is built into this machine, along with other DualSense features. and that worked great too. I quickly thought, wait, where is the center button on this thing since the middle is, well, a screen? Pressing either the bottom left or the bottom right of the screen triggers that middle button. Easy peasy. The Portal functions and feels better than using a tablet or phone and gives quite a bit of screen space for you to use. Honestly, this device feels so much better in my hands than I ever expected it would, especially since this thing kind of looks like Frankenstein's monster. I thoroughly enjoy that the Portal connects and boots up the PS5 quickly, especially since the PS5 itself already boots quickly. I can get quick 30-minute gaming sessions in much more frequently. And that is a huge draw for me with things like the Switch. If I want to just play for a bit without turning on the TV or setting anything up, I can with the Portal. If I want to switch to the bigger screen and sit on the couch, I simply turn off the Portal itself, turn on the TV, and connect the controller. The PS5 handles the switch from remote play to controller fluidly and without a hitch. Also, though it is still limited by the streaming aspect of this system, and it isn't an OLED, the screen is quite nice. The refresh rate is nice and the colors are vibrant. It looks really good, honestly, and that really surprised me. One final statement I have on this thing is that when it works very well, which is most of the time, it is wonderful. I've played games like Helldivers 2 online with my friends and had little to no problems at all. I've played competitive games that require quicker reflexes like Overwatch 2, Fortnite, and Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. I've played single-player games that require little to no input lag like Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. The Portal has also opened up the PS5 to being a JRPG machine, where my Switch was my sole device before that I played on, simply due to the portable nature of the console. The Portal has truly opened up the PS5 for me, as weird as that may sound. This device has thoroughly changed my mind, and my playtime on my PS5 has drastically increased due to this little handheld streaming device. But what it has truly done is remind me why I leaned so far into portable gaming in the first place. When the Switch released, I was instantly hooked. Having home console quality games in a portable form factor that just worked. I can't go back to just gaming on the TV or monitor. I love sitting in the room with my wife while she watches something, or doing the same thing while my kid uses the TV. Being able to have access to my PS5 when I'm far away from home. The Portal does a great job highlighting the wonders of a portable gaming system. But it also reminds me why I want actual hardware from these console companies that will run games locally. If this had been like past PlayStation handhelds where the games could be installed and played locally while being tied to your PSN account for save uploads and using the console as the source, this would have been perfect. But it just isn't, and I can't help but want more from this device. Having the option for portability from other console companies will not only help to spur on others to do better, whether it's Nintendo or one of the mini PC handhelds out there now, but it opens up so much more for me and others who love the option of portable home console gaming. I do really enjoy my PS Portal. I just wish it was more like a PS Vita. So those are my thoughts on the PS Portal. I really like the machine. I wish it was something else, but alas, this is what we have. Do you have a Portal? What are your thoughts on it? Are you looking to get a Portal? Has this video helped you at all? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, bye.